Hey everyone, so I know it's late, but this is kind of like my only time that I have a chance to do this live video. I was gonna do it tomorrow, but I was like, you know what, jump right in and get to it. So this is my positively eco-conscious first video, saving our world one idea at a time, or also known as my husband calls it Peace, Love, Reuse, Recycle Edition. So everyone is kind of going crazy over toilet paper and paper towels and canned goods and buying everything that they need because they want to make sure if they're being quarantined that they have all of the supplies they need for their home. So I wanted to kind of jump into reusing materials because a lot of times people have to buy goods instead of reusing the items that they already have in their house. So I wanted to talk about reusable things such as reusable napkins or menstrual cloths, but what about reusable toilet paper? So your first thought might be like, reusable toilet paper? And that's the first thing that I thought whenever I heard that term. I thought there is no way I'm going to reuse reusable toilet paper until I thought about how I cloth diaper my daughter Bella. So I thought, well, if I use cloth diapers on her when she uses the restroom and then I wash them, why couldn't I do that for toilet paper? So I started researching things on Google and I came up with different items that you can use to use toilet paper. So one of my friends who has, I think it's Mother Earth Wipes, Kelly, she makes these cloth wipes for, I don't know why I flipped it, it's the same thing, but she makes these cloth wipes and they're beautiful because they're all done on a sewing machine. And it was super cheap, and I use these on Bella whenever I use the baby wipe solution that I have, and then I use these to wipe her up. And then I thought, oh my goodness, these can totally be used for reusable toilet paper. Literally, they're made of a cottony material. You use it, and then you throw it into a basket to be washed. And you'll think, but won't this smell? Well, then think about using a little container to hold it, like a trash can, for that period of time while you wait for it to be washed. Now, if you're like me and you thought, I can totally make these are beautiful because they have fun patterns. But if you're like, I'm wiping my butt with it, what does it matter what I'm using? Then I took an old baby cloth that Bella doesn't use anymore. This is a swaddling thing. I didn't use it anymore, so I was like, I'll totally cut this up into little squares. This one is my example of something that was left over, and I was like, that's not enough. You need way more than that. So I basically measured out an exact thing, and you put the parts on top of each other. So obviously this part you put together, you cut it out, and you sew it. And you think, I don't have sewing skills, Brianna. Literally, I sewed with my hands, didn't even use a machine. Maybe one day I'll get a machine. But then I just made these. And I originally made them for Bella to have as a cloth wipe, but then realized these could totally be used for reusable toilet paper. So these look a lot better. And if you are not really into making your own, then I can tag the people below that make these that are super great because they're a lot better looking than the ones I made. So literally I used the old swaddling cloth, and I even used an old diaper liner, which these are good. This one's a bit scratchy, so I would make sure that you take a look at the kind of fabric that you're using so you don't scratch your butt with some stuff that feels like scotch. Or if you have a lot of diaper liners because you're already a cloth diaper mom, or you have some extras of these, or you can even buy these, I basically cut it and then sewed it shut. So I literally took one piece, cut it, and sewed it. Now this is thicker, so for those that like the softer, feel and they want more absorbent, then this is the best thing to do. It's a lot thicker than this one is, so if you kind of like that, you could definitely use this instead. It really doesn't matter because even this I thought was a bit too big. So if you really wanted to save your money, you could take these and cut it into even smaller pieces. So you can get diaper liners online, or I actually bought these at Kid to Kid, which is a local consignment shop, washed it, and then reused it. Because if my daughter can use it, I can use it. So I wanted to show you some materials that you shouldn't use when you're doing reusable toilet paper. So one of the things is I brought out this. It's a fleece blanket. Obviously, I would not cut up this fleece blanket, but fleece is not going to absorb any water. So it's just going to wipe the wetness all over you and not going to be a really good idea. So don't use this adorable penguin micro or fleece because it's not going to absorb anything. Another thing is one time I cut up an old towel to use for cleaning and I realized that it sheds. And I was like, oh, this is horrible. So it's not good for a cleaning cloth. I should have just left it as a full towel. So I would not use terry cloth because that is just going to shred up in your washing machine and in your dryer. So I would not use that. So the materials that I would definitely use is something that is a terry cloth material or not a terry cloth material. You can use microfiber. Now microfiber is very drying. So you would never like put this against a baby's skin because it would dry it up too much, which makes it the perfect thing to use because it's extremely absorbent. So you can use like a diaper liner, or you can use an old swaddling cloth like this. And if you want to use it as one layer, if you just want to cut it out and only use one layer, you can. However, I doubled it up because I was like, I just want a little bit protection in case it does get super wet. So just make sure you do that. Okay, so I have some examples. Again, don't make them this tiny because that's not really good. And if you don't want to make your own because you don't want to sit there and sew it, but literally, I don't know if you can see that. Should I put my hand behind it? But it literally didn't take me very long. And as I was sitting here, you know, watching TV one day, I literally was, you know, sewing these. Now, if you do want somebody to make them, I also have friends that make the adorable ones. Like, look at this cute little hedgehog. So if you're wondering, the most important thing that you want to know is how to wash them. It is so easy. So obviously during this whole time, I'm only talking about pee. If you want to use them to wipe poop up, that's your thing. I wouldn't, just because I don't want to touch my own poop. Bella's poop is different. My poop, I don't want to touch it. Not that I would want to touch her poop. But anyways, you get the point. So if you use them for poop, you throw them into the washer and you use hand wash and then regular wash, just like you would wash any other clothes. You just wouldn't wash with a softener because there's no reason to use a softener. And it really is not supposed to be used on diaper liners, right? I don't want to, it's really hard to wipe your butt with a hedgehog, right? And so I would definitely recommend only using it for pee, but all you have to do is throw them in the wash and wash them normally. And they literally come out smelling brand new. You don't have to bleach them. You don't have to use any special cleaner. The only thing I suggest is not using something that has a softener in it because it's not for these type of materials. So if you have any questions or any comments about all of these different, I have so many examples of reusable toilet paper on my lap. So if you have any questions, let me know, or if you want the links below to the friends that I know, it's Melissa Freeman. She makes menstrual cloths as well as some other napkins. And then my friend Kelly, she actually makes the cloth wipes for babies as well as cloth wipes for your butt. So I hope you enjoyed. I just wanted to come on here and share that because everyone is freaking out over toilet paper. And I'm like, hey, there is a solution in your home that you can use instead of going out and spending all your money. Use things that you already have. So hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next edition whenever I think to do another great video. So see you all later and have a great night.